Live Six Nations coverage on BBC Two later. The final match of this year's tournaments between France and Scotland is at 7:30. Football final scores now with Mark Chapman.
Relegation.
He was one of the heroes of the afternoon.
Applause from the away supporters. The latest score is Wimbledon. Go through to the Premier.
John Terry's tears, we all remember.
It was two crucial weeks.
We've got a lot of confidence at the minute and playing really well. I think the atmosphere will be great. As I said, we're at home, we have a fantastic crowd, they'll get right behind us. We're certainly going into the game looking really, really good at the minute.
It was a great result last week to come from behind and suddenly to weigh in with a few goals was good. It is a big game for sure, yeah, a massive game for both teams. People wrote us off about 4 weeks ago. We were, everybody just said, well, they're gone. And now we're back in there with half a chance, so the pressure really is not on us so much. But the lads are in good, great fettle, so we're ready to go.
Aston Villa against QPR, one of the big matches taking place this afternoon on Final Score. Hello, we've reporters up and down the country bringing you the goals and stories as they happen. And as it's been Cheltenham week, we've gone for two pundits who could never be mistaken for jockeys, Garth Crooks and Martin Keown. God. That would be one unlucky horse. If you have any questions for the guys, then tweet using the hashtag BBC Football. You also can get involved via the live text on the BBC Sport website as well. Let's catch up with the very latest in today's 3 o'clock kickoff. Some very interesting scores here. Aston Villa have come from behind against QPR to lead through goals by Gabby Agbonlahor and Andreas Weimann. Earlier on today, by the way, Everton 2, Manchester City 0. Everton down to 10 men for the last half hour, but they beat the defending champions. Southampton are 2-1 up on Liverpool. Ricky Lambert's 13th goal of the season put the home side 2 up. Philippe Coutinho got a goal on the stroke of half-time, so it's 2-1, and it's goalless at Stoke and goalless at Swansea. And one of those scorelines has just changed because QPR have equalised at Aston Villa. Andrew James, all the details, please.
The kind of stuff on which relegation safety is perhaps made of. A deflected shot from Andros Townsend has brought QPR back into things at 2-2. It was Villa who started strongly, lots of possession from them, but Jermaine Jenas put QPR into a 1-0 lead. A good move from him, working with Zamora. Jenas putting in the rebound from Zamora's shot. Then in first half stoppage time, a close range header from Gabby Agbonlahor equalled it up at 1 apiece. And then in the second half, Villa really went for it. Andreas Weimann turning in a shot from the edge of the box to put Villa 2-1 up. The Holt End was transformed. Rarely has Villa Park been so lively this season. But now they've just been pegged back by that Townsend equaliser. This game really could go either way. It's Villa 2, QPR 2.
It's a cracking game of football, and as QPR equalised, the first goal of the afternoon went in at Swansea. Mark Poyser.
And it's gone to Arsenal. Nacho Monreal with his first goal of the season. A scruffy finish from just inside the penalty area. It's past Michel Vorm, but inspired by a double change by Arsene Wenger, who's brought Aaron Ramsey and Gervinho on. Swansea now have it all to do in the final 15 minutes, and they're about to send on Luke Moore. Monreal with a goal, Swansea 0, Arsenal 1.
Big goal at the bottom of League 2. Jack Midson's 12th of the season means AFC Wimbledon have taken the lead at Aldershot. Crawley now 2 up at inform Walsall. They hadn't lost in 8 before today, hadn't Walsall. Rochdale have equalised against Bristol Rovers, who were going for a 4th successive home league win. Bristol Rovers won, Rochdale won. Michael Rose has got that goal. Back to the bottom of the Premier League as far as Southampton are concerned. All the details of their game with Liverpool from Jonathan Ledyard.
They're under attack now with Sturridge having a shot blocked just on the edge here. Suarez is there, Coutinho as well. We've got a contest. Here's Gerrard, and it's saved by Boric at his near post. We have a contest, unlike the one-way system which Southampton flooded in the first half for a deserved lead. Liverpool much more secure with Lucas in the midfield now for Joe Allen. The game's opened up thanks to that goal by Coutinho in first half stoppage time. I think the next goal is going to be crucial after Southampton led 2-0, overwhelming a thoroughly out of sorts Liverpool defence. A tap in for Schneiderlin, a free kick scudder from Ricky Lambert. Frankly, they could have scored every time they attacked. Now it's much more open, much more even. 2-1 in sheeting rain.
As things stand, Southampton will be 7 points clear of the relegation zone this evening. Let's go back to the game between Aston Villa and QPR. I'm not going to ask you to pick a winner here because it'd be important. It'd be impossible to do so. It's been end to end.
Well, it's been a magnificent game, end to end stuff. I mean, if you look at it, Queen's Park Rangers coming back into this, it's been like a boxing match with both teams on the canvas at times, coming back. So difficult to call. But you have to hand it to Harry's, keep making changes. And these are young players, really. And the crowd, the way they've come together today, it's been the best atmosphere all season at Villa Park. And the team have responded in the second half. But Queen's Park Rangers now looking like they're playing the better football.
Do you get the impression that both managers could well have done? Do you know what? 0 points from a defeat or a point from a draw, there ain't that much difference. We might as well go for the 3 because it could do great harm to our relegation rival.
Without doubt. Both these managers have gone for broke. Yeah. And the changes that Harry's made have been very telling at 2-1. He brings off Fabio, puts on Hoylett. Then he brings off... he puts on Adel Charabt, who really does have an impact on this game. And he's very much the difference at the moment. QPR could win the game from this position, which would be a bit of a travesty because Villa have played well in the second half.
The quality of the football for their second goal, Queen's Park Rangers, maybe 7 or 8 top quality passes, under pressure, and then finding the quality at the end of it. It's top play. These are teams at the bottom of the table, defying, really. You can't believe what they're able to put on. It's quality football.
Again.
From the bottom of the Premier League to the bottom of the Championship, Wolves were a goal down to Bristol City at half-time. Dean Saunders made 3 substitutions, including taking his goalkeeper off. It seems to have worked, Hamish Marshall.
Yeah, Wolves have got a vital goal to level this up at 1 each. A shot on the turn from Sylvain Ebanks-Blake. It ends a spell of 5 hours and 45 minutes since Bristol City last conceded. The only bright spot on a dark day for Wolves so far. They were trailing to an own goal when David Davis had a pass back from a goal kick which found its way past Carly Kamey. He's now been substituted. That decision, as I say, means Wolves have no substitutes left, but they've got 15 minutes left to try to get a vital winner here. 1-1.
13 for the season for Sylvain Ebanks-Blake. It's Plymouth 2, Fleetwood 1. David Ball has pulled one back as Plymouth fight to stay in the Football League. Portsmouth are fighting to stay in League One. They're at the leaders this afternoon, Doncaster, and as you can see, they've just scored. Derm Tanner.
Well, I said they were playing with a bit more oomph, and they have equalised, and they deserve it as well. It's been coming. Jed Wallace scoring. Portsmouth strong down Doncaster's left flank. They didn't deal with the ball across the box, and Wallace pounced. Came on. It's really intriguing now. 1-1.
Third of the season for Jed Wallace. Back to the Premier League. Another goal that affects the bottom of the table. Jonathan Ledyard. It's come at St Mary's.
You can tell who scored it. It's Southampton 3, Liverpool 1. What a great run by Jay Rodriguez. He's got in the centre of the attack for Southampton, and he just ran and ran and ran straight at the heart of the Liverpool defence. Brad Jones came out to save it, stopped it once, but not the second one. The tap in really from 7 yards. What a crucial goal this could be. Heads are bowed for Liverpool. Jay Rodriguez has scored. Southampton lead by 3-1. We have 10 minutes to go.
The League One leaders in Scotland have trebled their lead. Dumbarton 0, Morton 3. They're 2 points clear of Partick at the top of League One in Scotland. I mean, that's a good run from Jay Rodriguez from the halfway line. But you have to wonder why nobody went to him.
Well, listen, he comes through the midfield, through Lucas, Skirtle. If I'm Skirtle there, I'd take that personally. If he's going to run that distance and put it in the back of the net, he's got to get up to him, deal with it, put the block in. It's been 3 goals that they've conceded today, Liverpool, and all of them have been poor, soft goals. They've got to do better.
We said earlier on, if you were watching us on the red button, that making 3 substitutions at half-time could make or break Dean Saunders. Hamish Marshall, is it making him?
Yeah, a couple of minutes is making it. Just after that goal from Sylvain Ebanks-Blake, Wolves have turned this game on its head. A header from Kevin Doyle, who was restored to the side today as captain. He headed from about 8 yards out. Wolves had been awful for 75 minutes, but then 2 quick-fire goals sees them climbing off the bottom of the table and heading for 3 points here. It's Wolves 2, Bristol City 1.
Kevin Doyle 6th of the season. Bristol City would drop to the bottom. Wolves would be next to bottom. The gap between the two would be 3 points. and we stay in the Championship. We go to the Riverside next. Paul Addison's seen a goal in the game involving Middlesbrough and Birmingham.
And Borough's miserable 2013 continues, Mark, because Birmingham City have opened the scoring here at the Riverside this afternoon. Crossing from the left after a great run from Wade Elliott, and Nikola Zigic was there right on the line. He got there before any of the Borough defenders and goalkeeper Jason Steele. It's his 8th goal in the Championship, and Borough 1-0 down here with 7 minutes to go.
And Matt Robson's 8th of the season has got one back for Carlisle. Leighton Orient 3, Carlisle 1. 2-2 at Villa Park last time we were there. These two are leaning forward. You know why. There's been another goal, Andrew James.
It's a goal to Villa, and it's a great goal too. It's been scored by Christian Benteke, his 17th of the season. But the credit goes to Andy Weimann. An absolutely fantastic run from him down the right-hand side. Refused to be beaten. Brushed his way past a couple of defenders. Pulled the ball back towards the penalty spot. And Benteke drilled it into the bottom corner with Cesar already taken out of the game. Marvellous goal. Villa ahead again by 3-2.
It's going to be first on Match of the Day, you would imagine. This game tonight.
It's not over.
QPR, they keep coming.
Oh, a chance for QPR to equalise.
It really is. I mean, there's so much quality. I mean, the defending is another matter, but the strikers on show here today, Benteke is a real bully, isn't he?
If Remy makes a clean contact with the header, he scores. Yeah. He heads it into the ground and it bounces over the bar. It's a great chance.
Have we put drawing pins on your seat this afternoon?
I know.
But impressed with Remy, though. He's a quality player for Queen's Park Rangers. Should have scored.
If we haven't, it has given me an idea for future shows. Partick are 2-0 up on Hamilton. Christy Elliott with that goal. It is between them and Morton for who gets out of Scottish League One. The 3 o'clock games are providing an awful lot of excitement, but the early one did as well. It was at Goodison Park. Everton against Manchester City. The home side winning 2-0. All the details from Guy Mowbray.
For the 4th season...
Notts County have won all 8 of their home league games against Scunthorpe. They're taking the lead this afternoon. Dean Leacock has scored that goal. We'll get reaction from Everton against Manchester City from 5 o'clock here on Final Score. Manchester City were hit by an Everton side with a point to prove this lunchtime, weren't they?
Well, very much so, but you'd expect better from Man City as reigning champions. Didn't play anything like their best. And it's a sorry end to the season for them, really. I mean, it finishes now because...
That is it for you?
Well, for sure. And, the players now, of course, will have to show that they're a part of the future. Mancini will make the necessary changes in the summer. Didn't feel he added to his squad nearly as well as he could have done. And really, I think Van Persie not going to Man City was a major blow to them.
Yeah. Everton did have a point to prove, didn't it? It was like watching a different side at a different ground with a different atmosphere this lunchtime.
Everything. It suggested to me that Everton were really hurt by the defeat last week against Wigan and the way they went out of the Cup, and couldn't wait to get back on the Goodison Park and prove to the fans,
a point.
And prove a point they did. I think when you see on Match of the Day the way in which they celebrate Jelovic's goal at the end, just really says that there's a bond in the spirit
Playing for the
the
manager,
club.
I believe. They want all that to stay together.
And I think it begs the question: what's David Moyes going to do over these next few days? Is he going to sign that contract and put this whole thing, this thing to bed, or what? But it was a different Everton today.
2 for the afternoon for Ellis Harrison. Bristol Rovers on course for a 4th successive home league win in League Two that's taken them clear of the relegation zone. They lead Rochdale by 2-1, and Cheltenham, who are undefeated in 16 home league games going into today, will make it 17. They are 3-0 up on Rotherham. Steve Elliott with that goal 6 minutes from time as they try to cement a playoff place, even maybe get an automatic promotion spot. Back to Villa Park. Can QPR get an equaliser against Aston Villa? Andrew James.
Well, they're going to have to work very hard to do so, because Villa in the ascendancy at the moment in terms of morale, in terms of the support from the crowd. They've just made a substitution that some may see as a little strange. Andy Weimann coming off, being replaced by young Jordan Bowery. Got a tremendous ovation, Weimann, when he came off. But an indication from Paul Lambert that he is going for all-out attack at that Holt end to get another goal to secure the match. Still, Villa 3, QPR 2.
They've had a cracking game in the SPL at Celtic Park this afternoon. Celtic were 3-1 down against Aberdeen. They got it back to 3-2. Now are they level? Ailey Barber.
Yes, they are level, and it was, I'm not quite sure who scored it. It was from a corner. Samaras bearing down on goal. It was a great last-ditch tackle by Stephen Hughes, The ball went out for the corner came in, Ambrose with the first header, he celebrated like it was over the line, and then Hooper made sure. So one of them got the goal, Ambrose or Hooper, but all that counts for Celtic is that it is now Celtic 3, Aberdeen 3.
Stoke have just gone close to scoring against West Brom, but it's still goalless at the Britannia. Liverpool showing any signs of getting one back against Southampton. Jonathan Ledyard.
They're trying, but we've just got over 2 minutes to go, and it is still Southampton ruling the waves, and I mean that because it's pouring with rain. It's just eased up a little bit. Pitch is just holding the ball up as well in this the torrents that we've had. But I would say Liverpool are going to have to accept this because they have just not really had an answer to the non-stop energy that Southampton have brought, certainly in the first half and also in the second half. The game looks as if it's going to be decided by that goal of the day, the goal of the match by Jay Rodriguez, just running and finishing beyond Brad Jones. Just 2 minutes to go, still Southampton looking good to win, and what a crucial victory it'll be, 3-1.
Bradford are unbeaten in 5. They've given themselves hope at extra in League 2. They trail by 2-1. Kyle Reid has got that goal, and this is a big goal at the top of the Championship. All square between Hull and Nottingham Forest. Last time we were with Naz Premji, who's taken the lead.
It's the visitors' mark. Hull City 1, Nottingham Forest 2. Quite a turnaround for Billy Davies' side, who was shambolic in the opening period. They've been superb in the second. Lewis McGugan, unmarked, cross from the right, and McGugan, the substitute, said thank you very much. The Billy Davies revolution continues. Forest firing on all cylinders. Hull City 1, Nottingham Forest 2.
Unbelievable. 5 for the season for Lewis McGugan. They've won their last 5 of Forest, unbeaten in 6 since Billy Davies returned. Exeter 3, Bradford 1. So Bradford's chances in that game didn't stay very long, did they? Scott Bennett increased the home side's lead, and there's been a goal at Portman Road. Who's broken the deadlock here? Chris Gorham.
What a big goal this could be for Mick McCarthy and Ipswich. It's been a drab game, but McCarthy won't mind now. Ipswich 1, Bolton 0. Talk about a captain's goal. Substitute J. Emmanuel Thomas getting the ball in from the left. Carlos Edwards, his first shot was blocked. Bolton didn't clear. It rebounded back to Edwards, and he lashed it beyond Andy Lonergan. Bolton may be the division's form side, but they are heading for defeat at Portman Road. We're in the 90th minute, and it is Ipswich 1, Bolton 0.
Hull are losing. Watford are losing. This could be a very good afternoon indeed for Cardiff. The leaders are at Sheffield Wednesday. Will Perry.
Yeah, there was a little cheer from the Cardiff fans. That goal must have come through to them. It's Sheffield Wednesday 0, Cardiff 2. As it stands, Cardiff extending their lead over Hull at the top of the Championship. Don Cowie's deflected goal gave Malky Mackay's side the lead in the first half at stoppage time with a shot from outside the box. It dribbled over the line. Then just a few moments ago, Matthew Connolly added a second. He headed in Peter Whittingham's free kick from the right-hand side. And with teams down at the bottom of the Championship winning, it's not a healthy scoreline for Wednesday, who are right in the fight now. David Prutton came closest for the home side, smashing a shot over the Cardiff bar from the edge of the D. Miguel Lera had a free kick tipped over the bar. The sun is shining at Hillsborough, and it's shining on the Welsh at the moment. It's Sheffield Wednesday 0, Cardiff 2.
Got 5 this season as Connolly, which is not bad for a defender. And as things stand, Cardiff's lead over Hull will be 7 points. It'll be 9 over Watford, and they do have a game in hand over both sides. Are Arsenal looking comfortable with their lead at Swansea? Mark Poyser.
They're about to get a second here. Gervinho scores for Arsenal. It's 2-0 in stoppage time. They've hit the Welsh side on the breakaway, and Gervinho makes the point safe. Arsenal are going to close the gap on the top 4 in the race to the Champions League. They lead Swansea by 2-0.
The manager hasn't set the best example for Barnet this afternoon. Edgar Davids has seen red for a second bookable offence, and they are 3-2 down at Accrington Stanley in that big game at the bottom of League 2. Ivan Gaskell's afternoon has been full of brief reports at Stoke against West Brom because there hasn't been a lot to tell us.
Yes, this won't last very long either. A game that really won't live long in the memory. I've all but forgotten it already. It's not quite over, unfortunately. Save for a late effort by Shawcross that was saved by Foster. I can barely recall a serious shot on either goal. It's saying something when having the attendance pass to you is the most entertaining and exciting moment of the day. For the record, it's 26,317. I know I've counted them. It's 0-0.
Montrose were beaten 4-0 last week against Berwick in Scottish Division 3. They've lost 6-0 this week at home to Peterhead. Aggregate score in the week of 0-10. Jonathan Ledyard at St Mary's. Luis Suarez looks unhappy. Why?
He's got booked. because Liverpool not at all happy with it. He kept on moving wherever Boric was about to try and clear the ball, kicked from hand. The shot just came in, by the way, by Jack Cork. That was well taken by Brad Jones. No, Suarez just kept on blocking Boric whenever he tried to kick the ball, going left, going right, going left again, until Phil Dowd said, look, come away, and then eventually booked him. So great cheers of delight from the Southampton fans, disapproval from the Liverpool fans, but it's petering out this game now. We're into stoppage time. We've just got 2 minutes left, with Southampton quite comfortably leading, and you can hear it now, the cheer ringing round St Mary's. The Saints are marching in, and they're certainly marching to 3 points.
There's all sorts of arguments going on at Aston Villa at the moment about QPR trying to take a very quick free kick, as Walsall pull one back, by the way, against Crawley. Jamie Patterson with that goal, that's his 11th of the season, but no loss in 8 looks like coming to an end this afternoon. They trail Crawley by 2-1. In all the excitement of QPR and Villa, we haven't really spoken about Arsenal, which is astonishing with you sat here, but a 2-0 win at Swansea on the back of the win in Munich, and they're still very much in that race for the Champions League, particularly with Liverpool losing.
Yeah, and of course then Swansea, after just winning the League Cup as well, tails are up. Arsenal have totally dominated the game, so, you know, been a good reaction. Bayern Munich result was outstanding. They've nearly scored a third here. And
2 points behind Chelsea. They've played a game more, but as we heard right at the start when we talked to Steve Bauer, their running isn't too bad. Manchester United at home, probably their trickiest fixture left.
Well, food for thought, isn't it, for Chelsea and for Tottenham, who both play tomorrow. That game now just finishing for Arsenal. They've done their work for the weekend, and now over to the others.
And there is confirmation that Liverpool have been beaten by Southampton. That man, a Liverpool fan, on the score sheet, Ricky Lambert, as was Jay Rodriguez. All the details from Jonathan.
Yes, through the sun, through the drizzle, through the pouring rain, and frankly, as you said, Liverpool have been beaten. They are not a Champions League contender on this evidence. They can have no complaints at all. 2-0 down after barely half an hour. A free tap-in from Schneiderlin. A Lambert free kick. They conceded alarmingly, Southampton, just before half-time through Coutinho. Only the second chance that Liverpool mustered in that first half. But the match then swung evenly through the first 20 minutes or so of the second half. But it was decided by the goal of the game. Jay Rodriguez running from the halfway line, straight through the soft centre of the Liverpool defence. 3-1, thank you very much. Roy Hodgson, I think he was here. If he was watching Glenn Johnson, he had to avert his eyes. Gerrard, quiet. Crucially, though, 3-1 Southampton.
Late goal at Celtic. Somebody must have got a winner here, Ailey Barber.
It is a winner for the home side. What an incredible finish to this game, which has been fairly dull throughout most of it. The ball came across, it was flicked into the box, and Georgios Samras on as a substitute with the overhead kick to look like he's won it for Celtic in just fantastic fashion. His shirt is off, he's celebrating with the crowd at the moment. With just moments to go, it's Celtic 4, Aberdeen 3.
11 for the season for Georgios Samras. 2. Celtic have won 4-3. Will Griggs 19th of the season. Walsall have rescued it against Crawley. Walsall 2, Crawley Town 2. They're still playing at Villa Park. Andrew James.
Yes, the Holt End celebrating as if they've won the game already, but still 2 minutes of stoppage time being played out by Kevin Friend. It's nervous on the touchline, but Villa still leading by those 3-2.
Big game at the bottom there, big game at the bottom in the Championship. Who's won this one, Hamish?
Wolves by 2-1 against Bristol City. Now, Wolves are still deep in trouble after this win, but they say the darkest hour is just before dawn. Well, I wonder if 3 minutes in the second half here will turn out to be the dawn of their recovery. Sylvain Ebanks, Blake and Tevin Doyle scored in quick succession to turn this game on its head. Before that, Dean Saunders' side had lacked fluency and trailed to a crazy own goal. Saunders said it was a must-win game. Eventually his side did, and that's his first 3 points here at Molineux.
Bristol City bottom, Wolves just above them. Has QPR's last chance gone, Andrew James?
You really sense it has. The fans urging Kevin Friend to blow his whistle, but Christopher Samba now setting up a QPR attack on the edge of the box. Everybody forward for the blue and white hoops of Rangers, trying to find a chance. Clint Hill just over the bar from the defender who'd come up, and there is the final whistle. The celebrations begin at Villa Park. Aston Villa 3.
PR 23. There is a gap between the bottom 3 and everybody else this evening. In the murk and the rain and the gloom at the Britannia Stadium, there have been no goals to lighten up the occasion. Ivan Gaston.
Yes, I'll play the role of Mr. Grumpy. Some goalless draws are much better than they sound. This wasn't. Poor game here. Neither side with the guile or the craft to win it, so neither did. Aside from late and rather tame efforts from Shawcross and Jerome, which Foster comfortably saved, neither keeper seriously tested. I rather suspect that if you and Crooksy were in goal here, the score would have been the same, 0-0.
I don't think that was a compliment.
I didn't even hear it.
Good to see you paying attention. Let's go to Paul Anderson at the Riverside.
Birmingham have won, Mark. Great victory for them, and only the second time this season that they've recorded back-to-back victories. But where does this leave Middlesbrough? Nikola Zigic with the winner 9 minutes from time, and as befits a tough afternoon to watch football here on Teesside because of the lack of quality. The ball was bundled over the line in the most ungainly fashion, but they all count at the final whistle. A chorus of boos for the Borough, who have now picked up just 7 points from 39 in 2013. It's Birmingham's day here. They've won 1-0.
Yeah, if Middlesbrough fans are hating 2013, Nottingham Forest fans are absolutely loving it. Naz Premji's seen them win at Hull.
Hull City 1, Nottingham Forest 2. George Boyd it was that opened the scoring. A lovely overhead flick right on half-time in a first period. The home side absolutely dominated. Forest level just after the break. Darius Henderson it was with a simple finish. Then sub Lewis McGugan from a deflected right-wing cross mark, all alone in the box. He slotted home the winner. At the end, Gado, open goal, 6 yards out, in injury time, blazed over for Hull. It's a priceless first ever win for Forest here at the KC. Hull City 1, Nottingham Forest 2.
But Hull do stay second. Speaking of priceless win for Ipswich this afternoon. Chris Gorham.
It really was. Carlos Edwards, the captain, scoring a winner right at the end here. He really had Mick McCarthy breathing a huge sigh of relief at the end of a drab game. With just 2 minutes left, Edwards lashed home across from substitute J. Emmanuel Thomas at the second attempt. That's his first goal for 2 years, and what a time to get it. It was a game of very few chances. Daryl Murphy missed Town's 2 best opportunities. Bolton, who'd won their previous 5, didn't force a single serious save from Ipswich keeper Henderson. A dent to Dougie Freedman's playoff hopes, but a potentially huge win for Ipswich Town. It finished Ipswich 1, Bolton 0.
Still playing at Oakwell. Watford still have a chance of getting something. Richard Askham.
Yes, they are pressing in these final stages into the third minute of 4 minutes of stoppage time, chappers, but it's been a very determined performance from Barnsley, who've hurried and hassled to the last. They haven't given the likes of Matti Vidra a sniff at all. They scored through Jacob Mellis's free kick that found Bobby Hassel at the back post, and he had it in the goal that looks as though it's going to take Barnsley to a crucial 3 points.
Cardiff well clear at the top as things stand this evening. Will Perry.
Yeah, we've got about 2 minutes left here in stoppage time. There's a bit of a nasty injury to Mikel Antonio, who was stretchered off. It's Sheffield Wednesday 0, Cardiff 2. Back to winning ways, it will seem. Cardiff extending their lead at the top of the Championship to 7 points, was Wednesday's worries at the other end worsen. Don Cowie and Matthew Connolly got the goals. Cowie's drilled effort from the edge of the box dribbled over the line in the first half stoppage time. Connolly doubled their lead in the second half, heading in Peter Whittingham's free kick. Wednesday weren't outplayed today, but were simply lacklustre going forward. A sour blow for Dave Jones against a club who sacked him for failing to get Cardiff into the top flight. Is this the year that Malky Mackay ends that wait for the Welshman? It's about to finish here. Sheffield Wednesday 0, Cardiff 2.
And that'd be a big blow for Sheffield Wednesday as well, because Mikel Antonio is their top scorer this season with 9 goals. If he's out for the rest of it, that'll be problems for them in a relegation battle. To Blackpool, Peterborough next. You're still going, James Mason.
Yes, 5 minutes to go. Peterborough still hanging on to this 1-0 lead, scored by Kane Ferdinand, a header in the first half. Matty Phillips, Tom Hinton, Alex Baptiste all trying their luck in this second half. Blackpool trying everything. They still trail 1-0.
Okay, well, as the Six Nations draws to a close, we are gearing up for our next big sport on the BBC. You can follow every race of the new Formula One season with us. The first race takes place tomorrow, but because of that heavy rain early, they haven't even finished qualifying. So you can hear the session for qualifying at midnight tonight and the race in full on 5 Live, with qualifying highlights on BBC One at 5:15 a.m. and extended highlights of the race itself at 2:20 tomorrow afternoon. Coming up before 5:30 here on BBC Two, we'll be live at Villa Park, St Mary's, and we'll hear from David Moyes and David Platt. But before all of that, here are today's football results with Mike West.
And opening with the Barclays Premier League. Aston Villa 3, Queen's Park Rangers 2. Everton 2, Manchester City 0. Manchester United against Reading, an evening kick-off at 5:30. Southampton 3, Liverpool 1. Stoke City 0, West Bromwich Albion 0. And Swansea City 0, Arsenal 2. On to the Empire Championship. Barnsley 1, Watford 0. Blackpool 0, Peterborough United 1 is a latest score. Charlton Athletic 0, Millwall 2. Derby County against Leicester City, an evening kick-off at 5:20. Hull City 1, Nottingham Forest 2. Ipswich Town 1, Bolton Wanderers 0. Leeds United 1, Huddersfield Town 2. Middlesbrough 0, Birmingham City 1. Sheffield Wednesday 0, Cardiff City 2. And Wolverhampton Wanderers 2, Bristol City 1. In the Empire League 1, Brentford 1, Preston North End 0. Bury 1, Colchester United 2. Coventry City 1, Hartlepool United 0. Crewe Alexandra 1, Shrewsbury Town 1. Doncaster Rovers 1, Portsmouth 1. Leyton Orient 4, Carlisle United 1. Milton Keynes Dons 3, Tranmere Rovers 0. Notts County 1, Scunthorpe United 0. Oldham Athletic 0, AFC Bournemouth 1. Stevenage 4, Sheffield United 0. And Walsall 2, Crawley Town 2. In the Empire League 2, Accrington Stanley 3, Barnet 2. Aldershot Town 0, AFC Wimbledon 1. Bristol Rovers 2, Rochdale 1. Cheltenham Town 3, Rotherham United 0. Dagenham and Redbridge 1, Burton Albion 1. Exeter City 4, Bradford City 1. Morecambe 1, Gillingham 1. Oxford United 0, Chesterfield 1. Plymouth Argyle 2, Fleetwood Town 1. Southend United 1, Torquay United 1. Wycombe Wanderers against Northampton Town, match postponed. And York City 0, Port Vale 2. The Blue Square Bet Premier, Alfreton Town 3, Gateshead 2. Ebbsfleet United 4, Southport 1. Grimsby Town 0, Cambridge United 1. Hereford United 2, Barrow 1. Hyde 3, Dartford 0. Kidderminster 4, Tamworth 1. Newport County against Macclesfield Town, match postponed. Nuneaton Town 1, Lincoln City 0. Stockport County 1, Braintree Town 3. Woking 5, AFC Telford United 2. And Wrexham 0, Luton Town 0. Into Scotland and the Clydesdale Bank Scottish Premier League, Celtic 4, Aberdeen 3. And Inverness Caledonian Thistle 2, Ross County 1. The Iron Brew Scottish Division 1, Cowdenbeath 3, Airdrie United 2. Dumbarton 0, Greenock Morton 3. Hamilton Academical 0, Partick Thistle 2. Livingston against Falkirk, match postponed. Raith Rovers 1, Dunfermline 1. The Scottish Division 2, Albion Rovers against East Fife, match postponed. Alloa Athletic 0, Brechin City 1. Arbroath 1, Queen of the South 1. Ayr United 2, Stranraer 1. And Forfar Athletic 3, Stenhousemuir 3. The Scottish Division 3, Annan Athletic 0, Clyde 1. East Stirlingshire 0, Berwick Rangers 3. Elgin City 0, Rangers 1. And Montrose 0, Peterhead 6. The Corbett Sports Welsh Premier. The match between Avon Lido and Newtown abandoned at half-time because of a waterlogged pitch. At the time, Avon Lido were leading by 1-0. Airbus UK Broughton 2, Port Talbot Town 0. Carmarthen Town 3, Prestatyn Town 2. Llanelli 4, Aberystwyth Town 3. And the New Saints 6, Bangor City 0. And finally, the Danske Bank Irish Premiership. Donegal Celtic 2, Lisbon Distillery 1. Dungannon Swifts 1, Coleraine 3. Glenavon 1, Cliftonville 3. Glentoran 3, Ballina-Mallard 0. And finally, Portadown 0, Ballymena United 0.
And the late kick-off in the Empower Championship is now all over. Big win for Peterborough. They've won 1-0 at Blackpool. Let's take a look at the tables then. Manchester City's defeat means their neighbours kick off shortly against Reading with the chance to extend that lead at the top of the table to 15 points. Spurs and Chelsea aren't in action until tomorrow, but Arsenal and Everton have kept up the pressure in the tussle for Champions League qualification. There's no positional change in the bottom four, but now there's a 6-point gap between Villa and Wigan. Wigan, Reading and Sunderland all have games in hand on the sides around them. Cardiff have extended their lead at the top to 7 points because they won. Second place Hull lost at Nottingham Forest, who now go fifth. Watford also lost, so Crystal Palace could go third if they beat Brighton tomorrow. Wolves came from behind to beat Bristol City and to move within a point of safety. Peterborough remain in the drop zone despite that win at Blackpool. Barnsley and Ipswich both won as well to boost their hopes of survival. Leaders Doncaster earned a point to stay top of League One, while Brentford displaced Sheffield United in the second automatic promotion place. Bournemouth are up to fourth ahead of Swindon and Yeovil, who meet on Tuesday. Portsmouth were the only side in the relegation zone to avoid defeat today, although a point still leaves them 7 adrift of safety. Sixth bottom Colchester were the lowest placed winners. Gillingham stayed top despite being held to a draw at Morecambe. Their lead has been cut to 4 points by Port Vale, who move ahead of Burton into second place. Cheltenham beat Rotherham to move up to fourth, and it's really tight at the bottom. 1 point separates 6 clubs now. Accrington are propping up the rest despite beating Barnet today. Aldershot are now in the relegation zone after losing at home to AFC Wimbledon. In the conference, leaders Mansfield weren't in action. Nearest challengers Wrexham failed to take full advantage because they only got a point against Luton. Kidderminster's win puts them within 3 points of top spot. And at the bottom, Telford and Barrow both lost, but Ebbsfleet and Nuneaton both won to bolster their survival chances. And there were just 2 matches in the SPL today. Celtic now 15 points clear after coming from behind to beat Aberdeen. Inverness saw off Ross County to leapfrog them into third behind Motherwell, who of course beat Hibs last night. Right, let's get some reaction from that massive game at the bottom. Aston Villa 3, QPR 2. Here are the thoughts of Paul Lambert with Andrew James.
Paul, many congratulations. That answered a lot of questions about your side, didn't it, today?
No, I don't think it just today. I think we've been playing really well over a number of weeks now, and I thought we were terrific. I thought Brad Guzan had some 3 fantastic saves in the first half, but I thought we started the game really well in the first 20 minutes. I thought we might have got a goal against us against the run of play, and then QPR came back really strongly, and Brad had to beat his best. But some of the football we played at times was excellent. It was some game that really was a great game.
When you went 1-0 down, did you feel that it was going to go against you?
No, not because the way we've been playing. I thought there might have been a tad of it because we had a lot of the ball, dominating the ball, and so I always thought we could create. And the goal just before half time was a terrific time to score the goal. But I've got to give the team a lot of credit to go 2-1 up, then 2-2, then going again. And I said some of the football we played was excellent.
Scoring 3 goals at home will have pleased you, I'm sure, but the way the team saw the game out in the last 10 minutes or so, that must have pleased you as well.
Very much so, and credit to QPR because they came at us really strongly, and they're going well themselves. So, but delighted to see it through. And as I said, I thought we were excellent in parts of the game.
It was billed as the game of the day, a real crunch relegation game. Whether it was that or not, you are now sitting far more comfortably than you would have been otherwise, obviously.
I think the last week's win was a big win for us, and to do it back to back, I think it's the first time the club's done back to back wins since 2011 or something. So it's a long time since it's had that feeling. But the atmosphere in the stadium today I thought was electric. Everybody was right behind us, and the team's growing really good at the minute.
Paul Lambert talking to Andrew James. Steve Wilson was commentating on this game for Match of the Day. Steve, oh, hello. God, your cameraman's just had a little wobble. Anyhow, I hope he's all right. That was I tell you, both sides decided they were going to go for that today. They didn't want a point. They were going to go for the win.
I think everyone's just hopping from foot to foot here because it's a bit nippy, Mark, to be honest. Every sinew was stretched today by both sides. I think it's the kind of game as well where supporters, walk out absolutely drained, absolutely exhausted. It was one of those days, as Paul Lambert said, some game. Lots of turning points in it, but I think the biggest probably, Mark, was in stoppage time at the end of the first half. Villa have played well in the first half, but are losing 1-0 to a poor goal scored by Jermaine Genius after a mistake by the Villa defence. So we're in stoppage time. QPR get a free kick, edge of the Villa area. Jose Basinga steps up, smacks against the post. Could have been 2-0. Down the other end they go. How many times have we seen it? Lowton floats a ball into the box. Agbonlahor attacks it and scores. 45 seconds or something between the two incidents. Could have been 2-0 QPR at half-time. It's not. It's 1-1. And that, Mark, was the platform from which Villa ultimately went on to win the game. QPR unlucky, really, because they gave it absolutely everything they had. They couldn't have given any more. Created chances. Last kick of the game, Clint Hill smacks one from the edge of the box about a foot wide. It would have been a fitting finish, but it was a heck of a game.
Steve, thank you. You and your cameraman go and get warm. Paul Lambert said it in his interview, Martin, actually, back-to-back wins, and not just back-to-back wins against mid-table sides, but against relegation rivals, and that is why there is daylight this evening between Villa and Reading and QPR.
Yeah, and remarkably, they're just 3 points now, aren't they, behind, I think, West Ham, Newcastle.
Yeah.
Really are going through the gears, and all credit to Paul Lambert because he stuck with the philosophy of using youngsters. Very much today, it was a much more experienced team, should we say, for Queen's Park Rangers against a very young QPR team sprinkled with some experience. And he's ridden the storm. Today they were magnificent. I think the crowd played their part. Rarely do you see Villa Park rocking like it was today. But, you have to say, Harry, I mean, he gave it everything. The substitutions he made, they just couldn't drag themselves back into the game. That goal that was scored by Aston Villa, the equaliser, really turned the match today.
Will he regret, Harry, going for it? I mean, we've talked about how important it was to get 3 points rather than a point. But obviously it's allowed Villa to just create that gap over them. So will he regret the attacking substitutions he made?
I agree with Steve Wilson. There were 2 points there. I disagree with Martin on 2 points. One, Villa only played well the first 10 minutes of the first half, and they were ripped apart for the rest of that first half. You look at the possession, you look at the chances. Paul Lambert said in his after-match interview that Guzan made 3 great saves. QPR hit the post and they scored a goal. That goal turning point for Villa was everything. On the stroke of half-time, an innocent ball thrown into the box. Agbonlahor just gets his head on it and everything changes. And QPR are then, from then on in, are fighting to come to terms with that game. Villa then do start to play very well. They hold the nerve and they get the victory. It is the most extraordinary game I've ever seen for a long time. I've seen for a long time. And if I'm Harry Redknapp tonight, I'm thinking, what have I done to deserve that quirk of fate on the stroke of half-time? Because the whole thing changed.
It was truly incredible. Neither team really were playing in 10-minute sectors where one team was dominating, then it was the other. It was like a heavyweight championship, wasn't it? But you look at
blow for blow, wasn't
it? And teams kept responding. They were on the canvas. And even right at the end, you thought maybe that was going to be 3-3. Clint Hill would be thinking tonight perhaps he should have scored. But it's a long way out. But the way the game was going, you thought that would fly.
QPR have got to pick themselves up now to stand any chance.
Yeah, 23 points from 30 games. It was a fantastic game, and highlights of that match, plus the other 5 that are taking place across the day tonight on Match of the Day. Gary has Alan Shearer and Dion Dublin with him, BBC One HD from 10:30. And then 4 matches for Colin, Pat Nevin and Mark Lawrenson on Match of the Day 2 tomorrow evening. Also on BBC One HD at 10:25 p.m. As we look at sides that have created a gap between themselves and the bottom 3, Southampton, another one this evening, who at the start of the day would have been slightly worried they were being sucked back into it, but a 3-1 win over Liverpool, and they're 7 points clear now.
Yeah, Pochettino coming in there, only having beaten Man City since he's been in charge of the job. But today, they were different class. Liverpool just didn't turn up in that first half. It's unforgivable. You can't go into a game and start like they did. Jamie Carragher not playing today. They looked rudderless at the back. They have leaders in there. Gerrard was there, but they didn't perform.
So did Liverpool allow Southampton to play well today?
Liverpool didn't turn up. I watched Liverpool last Sunday against Spurs, and they were full of enterprise. You know, when they weren't playing well, they were still looking and trying for the openings. Today, they started poorly and got progressively worse. Southampton took complete advantage of that, but I just couldn't believe the way Liverpool went about the game today. And the goals they gave away were so poor. When you watch Match of the Day,
Skirtle particularly was a player playing completely devoid of any confidence. It seems as if Jamie Carragher coming into the side, taking his place, has wiped him out. You need to show a bit more character than that. And if he's not able to do that, because Jamie's obviously retiring now, they need to find someone to replace him.
He's not the Skirtle that I saw at the beginning of the season at all. Martin's right, he seems to have lost his confidence.
Liverpool's defeat has increased Arsenal's chances of getting a Champions League spot because there's one less side challenging as the league stands. They went to Swansea this afternoon. They won 2-0. Here are the thoughts of Arsene Wenger with Mark Poyser.
Arsene, how big a victory today was it for your side?
It's fantastic. I'm very proud of the players because they had a difficult game Wednesday night away from home at Bayern, and come here today with the spirit we have shown is absolutely fantastic. We are in the battle, but we are up for it, and this team is ready for the fight.
Your double change around about the hour mark seemed to almost inspire the team to find that cutting edge.
Sometimes it's like that because players were a bit tired, you know, and we had to find something fresh players, and fortunately we got 2 goals.
And 2 unlikely scorers as well.
Yeah. Well, Gervinho is a scorer, but this season has been unlucky with his opportunities. Then he has lost a bit confidence. So he will come back, and he has shown today when he come on, he had an impact. And of course, Nacho Monreal is not a goal scorer.
And how much pressure now does this put on Chelsea and Spurs before they play tomorrow?
I don't know. We know that, as I told you, we are in a battle where we want to win the games, and we had today. I think today we won because we really were ready to give absolutely everything to win, and that's what will be needed, no matter what we others do, until the end of the season.
OK, let's go to the Liberty Stadium, shall we? And keep our fingers crossed that Steve Bauer's cameraman isn't as cold as Steve Wilson's was. Let's talk about Arsenal in particular. That was a very professional performance.
It was, because they had a shaky start. They looked a little lethargic in the first 15-20 minutes, understandably after the exertions of the midweek win in Munich. But then, having ridden their luck a couple of times, Michu possibly should have put Swansea in front. They hit the crossbar twice, and you felt that if they could show that kind of spirit from the week in the second half, that they would go on and win the game. And they did, and they dug deep, and Swansea sat back. But Arsene Wenger talking there about the change that really did add that extra sort of urgency that Arsenal needed. Gervinho and Aaron Ramsey, the former Cardiff player who got a warm welcome down here, of course, coming on. And then Monreal, 16 minutes from time, with the all-important goal. And from then on, you didn't feel that Swansea had anything in them. And then they were pushing forward at the end, throwing numbers. And the 2 substitutes, Ramsey and Gervinho, combined for once to do it a little bit more straightforward for Arsenal to double their advantage. But you could see, just looking at Arsene Wenger and his coaching staff and Steve Bold down there, just how much that Monreal goal meant, because they knew they had to win here today to keep the gap closed to 2 points before Chelsea and Spurs play tomorrow. This was one of their most difficult looking fixtures on paper to try and close the gap, and they dug deep, and they've got that belief now, and they got the 3 points they came for.
Thank you very much, Steve. And now they're 2 points behind Chelsea, albeit having played a game more. Today is astonishing about how just one result immediately changes perceptions of the season.
One thing, Wenger not afraid, is he, to leave players out. Vermaelen, his captain, left him on the bench. Szczesny as well. Fabianski playing in goal today. All of them justifying their selection, a good professional performance, and they're moving again towards. The argument for Arsene Wenger is that he's clinging to is to get Champions League football again once more. And it'd be a disaster if they don't. And it's all up for grabs. But you'd expect Tottenham to react after losing last week. But Chelsea tomorrow, playing at home, you'd like to think they're going to get 3 points.
It's that Champions League performance that's been the spark that has ignited the flame. Their performance in midweek against Bayern was superb. There's no two ways about it. And that confidence has spilt over in their league performance, and as a consequence, that confidence is flooding back.
The difference today, though, a lot of people are saying that the Bayern Munich tournament was gone, wasn't it? Was there any real pressure in that?
Yeah.
And it's different performing when there's a level of pressure. And today there was a focus and there was a determination for the team to respond. And that was Arsene Wenger will be very pleased with that.
On to reaction from the early game where Everton beat Manchester City by 2-0. We'll start with the home manager, the winning manager, David Moyes.
A tremendous effort all round, right from the start today.
Yeah, it was, and I thought we played really well in the first half. We're playing the champions of England just now, so we know it's going to be tough. We knew it wasn't going to be a stroll in the park, and I think the players, when they had to, showed resilience. I thought when we had to play, we played quite well. I thought we were always a threat in the first half. I thought we have a chance. I think we scored a goal which is wrongly given offside, so we deserved to get in the lead.
Perhaps didn't throw enough at them. Perhaps didn't get enough, good chances, quality play. When we did create chances, we didn't put one away, which could have settled us down and maybe gone on and got something out of the game. The way that the game went, bags of bookings. You felt as though somebody was going to go down 10 men. They did, and we didn't take advantage of that.
The disappointment we suffered last week. We found it difficult to shrug for the first couple of days of the week, but. We managed to turn it around. We got concentrating on this game, and I think we showed out there that that's the team we are rather than the one last week.
I know the disappointment is still there from last week, but it must make up for it, and it's still on for the fourth place fight.
Yeah, well, the Everton supporters are watching a really good team, and now and again that really good team doesn't play that well, and you tend to find that happens at other clubs as well. But in the main, they're watching a good side.
Perhaps our performance really throughout the 90 minutes didn't deserve a great deal out of the game. By the same token, sometimes you look for decisions to go your way, and they don't. And people make mistakes.
You're referring to the handball shout and the free kick just outside.
Well, it's not a handball shout because it's been given. If it's not given, then that's one thing. You can complain about that, but the actual handball is given.
Leon Osman's 50th goal for the club. There haven't been many better than that.
No, it was a great goal, and I'm delighted he's joining up with England this week. I don't know if Joe Hart will be delighted to see him after the ball going in, but you have to say Seamus Coleman was great down the right-hand side, and he'd been causing them problems. This one I thought, he set it back too hard, but Ozzy caught it sweet with his left foot, and it flew away from the goalkeeper.
It's nice for me, but the most important thing was how we bounced back today. The performance we put on, the result we got. And we got the fans behind us today, and it was an all-round good performance.
Manchester United have got a significant points advantage, and our obligation is to go out and be professional and win football matches. We haven't done that today. By the end of the evening, it could be 15 points, and people will start talking about that. Not mathematically impossible, but even when it is, it doesn't change our focus and intensity.
As far as Manchester City are concerned, the gap could be 15 points by 90 minutes' time, 2 hours' time. There's no shame in losing for Goodison. If they do lose the title, it's come earlier on in the season.
What it has, and what David Platt is saying there about the focus and about continuing to play well, they've got to be looking over their shoulder a little bit at the moment, because you can go on that slippery slide. There is when you can't go after silverware, you have to refocus and set new targets, and they've slipped from a great height. It's nowhere near the Man City scene that we saw last year, and it needs to be put right.
Do you think, Garth, David Moyes has been slightly hurt by the criticism of Everton last week? That answer that he gave to Guy there, Everton fans watch a good team, and occasionally a good team doesn't perform, and that happens at other clubs. There was just a hint that he may have just been a little bit hurt by the criticism from last week.
I have no doubt that's correct. Undoubtedly, you look at the reaction of the players and sort of his reaction on the sidelines, I've no doubt that the Wigan defeat hurt him. I think you want that response from your players. When you see the celebration around Jelavic when he scores the second goal and he clinches the game, it tells you there's a spirit and there's a bond coming. As far as Manchester City is concerned, I'm not sure it's that critical, because if they win the FA Cup, I think perhaps the question mark around Mancini is not so acute as if they win nothing at all. So there, as Platt's alluded to, winning the FA Cup there now is their priority.
Let's go. Go on.
It's dangerous for a group of players just to rely on turning up for the FA Cup. When you're at a big club,
you have no choice.
Consistency in the league is how you're judged.
They have no choice. That's all they've got left.
I got that Keown look then, and you don't argue with that. You let him finish. Let's go to Old Trafford. Manchester United could be 15 points clear then at the end of the evening. Reading, of course, our manager, Simon Dolan, in caretaker charge at the club after they sacked Brian McDermott on Monday. Let's get the team news from Ian Brown.
Yes, indeed, every chance the title chase could become a procession. Victory here, and United would be those 15 points clear with just 9 games to go. After 2 consecutive very frustrating matches here at Old Trafford, you'd imagine United are in the mood to take full advantage of that City slip-up. And Sir Alex Ferguson makes 8 changes from the FA Cup draw, with Chelsea. Vidic and Ferdinand are reunited in defence. Rooney and Van Persie and Welbeck are all included. Giggs starts, so too Ashley Young, and there's a rare outing at left-back for Alex Butner. Results earlier at Southampton and Villa Park mean Reading are now 7 points adrift of safety. They've bemused a lot of people this week with that axing of Brian McDermott. No immediate replacement means that Academy boss Eamon Dolan has picked the team today. 3 changes: Shorey for Hart, Karajan for Akpan, and McCleary for Lafondra, who's on the bench.
So Manchester United against Reading will kick off shortly. Let's get some reaction from St Mary's. Here's Brendan Rodgers on Liverpool's 3-1 defeat.
Brendan, how poor was that Liverpool performance today?
Well, it certainly wasn't how we've been over the last numbers of weeks. We didn't really get going until it was 2-0 down. I give credit to Southampton. They're a good side, especially at home. And when you come to a newly promoted team, you're always going to get that. So. But no, once we went, as I said, we conceded poor goals today, which has been very, very unlike us in the last numbers of weeks. So, as I said, we're disappointed with that.
Disappointing day for Brendan Rodgers. Reading go into this game at Manchester United. You know Eamon Dolan, this is a side that's built in Reading. Very quickly, Martin.
Yeah, very much so. I think if you look there at the team, a lot of those boys coming through the academy, that's a reflection there of Eamon's beliefs. And they will go there and give a good account of themselves, I'm sure of that.
Reading are in disarray.
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 That's strong words.
Well, if you sack your manager, you've got no replacement for him. You go to, was it United this week, Arsenal next week?
I think that's a bit unfair. I think that in Nicky Hammond, they have a director of football there.
Some fair on Brian McDermott.
Well, of course it
is. Reading have Manchester United to play. The 2 big stories of the day: Manchester City beaten at Everton. Aston Villa have beaten QPR. 2 big results. Thanks for watching. Thanks to Garth and Martin. Bye-bye.